Lazy account manager doesn't want to do his job. My company uses a website application to process the complex process flow of two of our product services. Example of complex steps: A, D, F, J need to happen to move the next stage, but B, F, J, P can move it too. Rather than develop our own process flow, we use WebServe, an online application that does a good job of handling our process complex flow. But a coworker brought to our attention an error when one of our clients complained of a problem. WebServe can pull reports on and of our product services that are in various stages of completion. The problem a coworker found was that during the stages 4 to 5, a few fields are showing up blank on the report, but still appear on the website. It took us a while to figure out exactly what was going on, as often the product service was at the later stage when we discovered the error. I contacted our account manager at WebServe and informed him in detail of what the problem was, how we found it, what it was doing, with multiple screenshots of both the WebServe site and the generated report. I politely asked if he could have his dev team to fix this bug and when we could get an ETA as to inform our clients. Our WebServe account manager quickly replies with, "I spoke with our IT team. Turns out these blank fields are from a different data table that no longer get used when the next stage happens. This blank happens if that task doesn't have all the fields entered when completed. Our system maps the populated field onto WebServe, which is why you see a number there until stage 5, and on happens." I was puzzled. None of what he said made sense. I didn't ask for an explanation of what the problem was. I knew there was a problem because I told him about it. What I asked for was when WebServe would fix this bug. My polite reply went as followed. While I get that explanation, it was basically what I just told you in different words. My team doesn't understand this and our client doesn't as well. If we see a field on the application, it should be able to see it on the report. So I was curious when we could get an ETA for a fix. The next reply by him was truly baffling. The report pulls one-to-one data during the multi-stage process. It's just not possible to fix the report as there's nothing to fix. This is working as it was designed, as I was told by the dev team. I shook my head in disbelief. Okay, if that's the case, can you tell me why your dev team designed WebServe to display information at stage 4 and remove that very information for stage 4 in the reports? Account manager: because this is not currently possible to update for a one-to-one report. The WebServe app is only populating the previous data before it gets updated. It's not accurate, by the way. Again, my head shook as I replied. Okay. Wait, so either the issue is the stage 4 process is not showing accurate information on WebServe and the report is? Or vice versa. Either way, that's a bug, don't you agree? Sorry if we got off on the wrong foot, and I don't want to continue arguing semantics at this point. There's a bug on WebServe, on either the app or the processing report. Something that shouldn't be that difficult to fix. If field A is blank, use field B for the report. I know you do this for WebServe in multiple areas, and do it for the reports for other fields. Provided example. So what I'm asking is please provide this same logic on the WebServe app as the reporting service. Account manager: this is not a bug, but I agree with you that it's not the ideal process due to the conflicting data. I'll tell you what. I'll submit an enhanced request to our dev team for them to review and prioritize as a potential future release. At this time, I can't provide you with an ETA or completion timeline. I'll keep you posted for Q1 2020. I figure at this point, he's being defensive because he doesn't want to do work, is taking what I say personally for some unknown reason, or he's got personal issues he's dealing with and taking it out on our conversation. I take my time and ask compliance to pull up our contract with WebServe. It takes a few days because this isn't a high priority, just a fun project for me. But I find the paragraph dealing directly with the service and how WebServe will take immediate action on bugs/viruses and system down issues. Bugs being the keyword I was looking for. I went online and quoted the part on Webster's dictionary that pertained to us. An incorrect or unexpected result to behave in unintended ways. So, I neatly prepared a PDF copy of that sheet in our contract along with the penalty sheet. I attach it to the following email. Okay, we understand that your dev team needs to review said computer bug for errors and fixes. The future release is understandable, and getting back to us in Q1 of 2020 is fine. We will just expect a zero balance bill on all invoices until such time as you can make this fix. Seeing as the penalties would exceed our billable amount by day 15 of each month. Thank you for your time, and looking forward to hearing back to you in Q1 of next year. The emergency patch email arrived by next morning, and the issue was fixed within 24 hours of me sending my reply. Nothing like the threat of losing money to get someone off their ass and into gear. Nicely done. The new city ordinance states that all bars must be closed at 2 a.m. Will do. This is from 2011. A bar owner in Brazil, after his city created a new ordinance mandating all bars to be closed at 2 a.m., began kicking all his customers out at 1:59 and reopening 5 minutes later. When the cops arrived, he argued that he obeyed the ordinance by closing at the mandated time, but since the law says nothing about opening hours, from now on he opens at 2:05. I feel like this would be a pretty accurate representation of how the conversation with the cops went. 20% hike for me, thanks. Mandatory points. On phone, so formatting. From India, so I'll be using kilometers instead of miles. And sorry for any mistakes. Here goes. A friend of mine joined a job at 850 kilometers from our hometown, but the company required him to provide a local address before the initial interview. So, being the sensible man he is, he gave the address of a friend in the next town, almost 80 kilometers away from the company's office. They required less than or equal to 100 kilometers. He received a mail, not he, but his friend, regarding the date and time of interview. Company did this to verify he actually lives there, as it was hand-delivered by an employee, who straight up asked if he was in fact a roommate. He got selected, and was told he would be getting fuel compensation for driving down to work. But instead of looking at his odometer, he'll be using the distance shown by Google Maps between his residence and office, as he will not be getting compensated for his personal use. He was asked to join after 2 weeks, so he looked for a residence in the distance of 5 to 6 kilometers and found one in his budget as per his standards. Malicious compliance time. He asked his manager to add his address for fuel compensation. The manager looked at his company profile and told him to take it up with HR executive or manager. And he did that. Friend, I need to get my address changed regarding fuel compensation. HR executive, it's not in my authorization, so if you wait a couple of minutes, I'll get my manager. HR manager, what's your issue right now? Friend, I need to get my address changed for interrupted. HR manager, no you don't, just use the old one. It's the company being generous by giving you fuel to come to office. You can handle a little less than your expenses. Friend, but my residence is 7 kilometers away, and my registered address is interrupted again. HR manager, then you'll be losing only like, what, 2% of your current pay if your old address was at the office space? So stop whining. I'm busy and don't have time for your crap. Friend, okay, as you wish. Yesterday, I was catching up with him, and he told me this story about how generous the company was. I believe it needs to be here, as I've seen similar posts here. These are all much better people than me. If I had just moved and would lose a lot more money by opening my mouth and telling them that I have a new address, I would somehow forget every time I went into the office. Work thinks I'm lazy. I work in a factory doing maintenance. A lot of what I do is told to me verbally. Recently, our new general manager brought it up to my boss how he thinks I do not do any work, and what was the point of having me employed. My boss asks me, and I tell him that my job, including the one the general manager gives me, do not get paperwork done up for them because the office cannot be bothered to file it. He tells me to fill out work orders for the work I complete, that the office can handle some extra paperwork anyways. A week later, I get told to please stop making work orders because the office couldn't keep up. I had filled out 237 for every job I did, big or small. I don't blame this guy at all for filling out that many work orders with his job on the line. Hell, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd fill out work orders for tying my shoe on company time. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did and you're new around here, consider subscribing. And if you really liked it, maybe give it a thumbs up and a share. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.